Hi, today we're talking about how to control your fear of public speaking. If you have a fear of public speaking, I gotta tell you, you're like the whole rest of the world, and you're like I used to be. I'm happy to share with you the things that I have learned so that you can overcome your fear of public speaking and you can live the life that you want to live because you have things inside of you you absolutely want to share. Hi, I'm Scott Wilhite. I'm the Record Yourself video coach. Happy to share with you the things that I have learned so that you can share your voice, you can share your message, you can make the impact that you want to make in the world. So if that sounds like the kind of show that would add value into your life, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this episode, and if you ring the bell, YouTube will let you know when more shows come out. Okay, so today we are talking about how to control your fear of public speaking. Now I gotta tell you, I was there. In fact, I'm still there. Honestly, I get back there quite a lot and I have to remind myself of some things so that I can overcome this fear. But if you're back there, if you're where I was, and let me just back up, let me tell you where I used to be. So I remember being so scared of public speaking. So I was in charge of a Cub Scout group. My boy was in Cub Scouts. He was, I don't know, 8 or 10 years old, and and they put me in charge of this group of other 8 and 10-year-old boys, and I was the Cub Master. And every month we'd get together and we'd have, pack meeting or whatever it was called. And I had a guy that would help me out, and he was amazing. He had like total confidence, and he would get up there. He had bear pants that he would wear, and these big fuzzy things, and he could do crazy things, and he was just himself, and he was natural, and he was real, and the kids loved him. And here I was, terrified, not of being in front of 8 and 10-year-old boys, but because in this little room were the 8 to 10 parents that were there for the boys. And it terrified me to speak in front of them. And I remembered I would script out everything that I was going to say. And I was just absolutely terrified. I would sweat through all my stuff. Look at this. No sweat today. I was just absolutely terrified. The idea of public speaking was terrifying to me. So today I'm going to share with you some ideas, some tips that you can do so that you can overcome your fear of public speaking, so that you can get out there and share that message that means so much to you, that message that's in your heart that's yearning to get out. Okay, so I'm going to share with you 3 tips that you can use, but before that, I just want to present this idea. The big thing that is keeping you from living your purpose and sharing your message and making a difference in the world is fear. Now you got to understand what fear is. Break it down. It is false events appearing real. Fear. False events appearing real. What happens is in our minds we start to see these images of things going horribly wrong. And as we start to look at those and obsess on those, we become more fearful. Now what's really going on is our subconscious mind is telling us that we need to be afraid and using these thoughts and these stories that come into our minds, like our subconscious mind actually plants those into us to keep us safe, to keep us away from that edge that looks so dangerous. But we want to get out there. We have a message inside. We have contributions to make. And so our subconscious is actually working against us. So I'm going to share with you 3 tips that you can do to actually collaborate with your subconscious mind to get that to stop telling you those horrible stories, but instead to work with you so that you can work through your fear of public speaking. Okay, so the first thing is I want you to visualize. Okay, visualizing is this amazing thing. So let me just break it down for you as a filmmaker. So before we create any sort of film, we script it out. And the way the script happens, it's a beautiful thing. It's written in present tense. It's written as if it's happening right now. And so as you're reading a script, you could almost see things taking place. You could see the characters moving. You can see the action happening. You can see the movie in your mind. Well, if you take that idea and you start to visualize things in your mind about you presenting online, presenting on stage, presenting on camera, however you want to get your message out there, if you can see yourself actually doing that, spend time just almost in a meditative state where you can picture yourself and see yourself doing that. If you're not able to see those images in your head and it doesn't come naturally to you, script it out, write it out. I step on stage, the audience erupts, they jump to their feet. The applause is deafening. I wave to them with my hands up, thanking them for coming. Whatever you want to do to script it out so you see this scene starting to take place in your mind and you can see yourself there. When you start to visualize, you're going to start to work with your subconscious mind in a collaborative state to where you can step through this fear, this anxiety that is happening to prevent you from living large and living your purpose. So that's the first step. Visualize, really see that happening. So step number 2 is I want you to find and identify your ideal client, your ideal audience member. Who is it that needs that message that is inside of you? Can you see them in your mind? Can you see what they do every day? Can you see them when they wake up in the morning and you know the first thoughts that go through their mind are fear or anxiety, or maybe they have health challenges. Maybe what you do is you coach on nutrition. Can you see your ideal client, see them in the day that they normally have, see them in their anxiety, see them in their fear, and can you then understand them enough that when you speak, you're speaking to them and you recognize, like for me, I speak to people who have this yearning in their heart that is it's almost eating them away from the inside. They have this desire to share this message, but there's fear, there's perfectionism, there's technology, there's all of these things there's time. There's all of these things preventing them from sharing the thing that they came here to share. These things that they've learned, their life lessons or these experiences. So for me, I can see very clearly the kind of person that I'm speaking to. And when I think about that person, it really changes the dynamic. Instead of having the spotlight on me, I have the spotlight on my audience because I identify their needs, their desires, their pain points, and I'm focused on how do I best serve them. And when the spotlight's off me, boy, the heat's off. Okay, so I hope that gives you kind of an idea that if you turn the spotlight on your audience, it's going to help take away that fear. It's going to lessen that because you're focused on serving and not on yourself. And the third tip is to just do it. I know it sounds, I know, just do it, right? But when you start practicing, when you start recording yourself, when you start getting up on stage, when you start accepting those opportunities to speak or to present, it's going to make a tremendous difference. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to desensitize yourself. You're going to start, you're going to learn it's not about you, it's about your audience. You're going to start practicing. You're going to start getting better at this. You're going to listen to yourself and you're going to go, okay, yeah, I could deal with that voice. And you're going to start to get better at this. But when you just do it, what's going to happen? Again, we're talking about collaborating with our subconscious mind. What our subconscious mind is trying to do is trying to keep us safe. So as long as you stay back here from this dangerous area that it's telling you this could turn out bad. If you move forward, this could turn out bad. And so as long as your subconscious mind can tell you stories about why stepping forward is a horrible idea and can keep you in this safety zone, which is really not a safety zone, it's an unfulfilled zone. If it can keep you here, you're not going to cause anything that can cause danger. And so it will tell you stories, it will give you fears, false events appearing real. It will give you all of these things to keep you back here. But as soon as you take a step and another step and another step, your subconscious mind, instead of trying to keep you back here, is going to start thinking about the steps that you're doing and where you're going. And it's going to start to move forward with you. So when you start to do that, when you start to recognize that you have a great contribution to make, when you step forward and share your voice, when you share your message, you're going to start to overcome that fear that is keeping you living small. Hey, just a really quick thought. If you want to take my quick start challenge, this will help you get started, go from your vision to your video in just a matter of days so that you can get out there, you can share your voice, you can make that impact that you want to do. There's a link above or below, but I'm happy to help you get started so that you can actually start sharing your voice. All right, time to broadcast your voice. What's the message you have that the world needs right now? If you're a heart-centered person who wants to make a difference in the world, video is the way to do it. I'm happy to help you get started. Click right here to take my Quick Start Challenge, and you can get started today.